welcome back to Cartoon Mania. Today we're going to cover the show Samurai Jack from beginning to end in detail. We've already covered season 1 in full detail in this video here, so you can go ahead and check that out too. And now let's jump right into it. A long time ago, when the universe was just starting, the incredible story of Aku's beginning took shape. Out in the vastness of space, a huge cosmic threat shows up, putting the whole universe at risk. The ancient gods, Odin, Ra, and Rama team up to battle this darkness, and they manage to wipe it out, mostly. But a small piece of this darkness survives and ends up on Earth, causing the end of the dinosaurs when it hits it. This bit of darkness turns into a black, tar-like puddle that keeps growing and swallowing everything it touches. The Emperor of Japan, faced with the impending catastrophe, decides to confront the threat despite the pleas of his pregnant wife. To protect his people, the Emperor bravely goes into the heart of this spreading pool, armed with a poison-tipped arrow. But instead of defeating the danger, the arrow somehow gives life to the darkness, creating Aku, a really powerful and scary being. Aku wastes no time in showing off his immense power, destroying the Emperor's kingdom and leaving behind a lot of destruction. In this exciting climax, the Emperor's kingdom faces total destruction from Aku. But things take a turn for the better when Odin's white horse, Sleipnir, comes to rescue the Emperor. The horse takes him to a high mountain where he meets the ancient gods. They tell the Emperor about Aku's real nature and draw out the pure essence of the Emperor's spirit, turning it into a powerful magical sword. With the sword and shiny silver armor, the Emperor goes back into battle riding on a magical cloud, facing Aku. Their battle is fierce and intense, with the Emperor using the enchanted sword to harm Aku, who responds with his eye beams and shape-shifting abilities. Ultimately, the Emperor defeats Aku by trapping him in the enchanted sword and plummeting it into the ground. But Aku's threat is not entirely over. The Emperor, now a father, realizes the need to be prepared in case Aku ever returns, as he holds his newborn son, illustrating the ongoing vigilance required to protect their world from the forces of darkness. In the beginning of season 1, Aku awakens once again and attacks the Emperor's kingdom, eventually capturing him. The Emperor instructs his wife to flee with their son and train him to defeat Aku. The son travels the world, mastering various skills and styles of combat. After 17 years, he reunites with his mother and receives his father's blade and white G. With newfound confidence, he confronts Aku, frees his people including his father, and battles Aku's manifestations. As he is about to win, Aku opens a portal in time and sends him into the future. Now in the future, the boy learns that Aku has taken over the world. He meets 3 strange aliens, who name him Jack. He enters a bar where he gets ambushed but easily defeats many of the aliens. Impressed by his skills, 3 talking dogs ask him for help in freeing their people. As they travel to a dig site, one of Aku's spies informs him about Jack's arrival. Aku sends his killer robot drones to kill Jack and the dogs, but Jack single-handedly destroys the whole army and frees the dog people. On his journey back home, Jack encounters Creatulites pursuing a woolly creature. He joins them and discovers that the woolies are peaceful beings enslaved by the Creatulites. After helping the woolies regain freedom, their elder advises Jack to head north to find a way home. On his way, he comes across a group of humans who are building a rocket to escape Aku's clutches. Jack helps them prepare so he can leave with them, but when Aku sends his space guards to destroy the rocket, Jack willingly stays behind to fight them while the scientists escape. Now, taking the elder's advice, Jack heads north into the Arab, where a fortune teller advises him to seek a jewel in the desert. When Aku's minions attack him, a woman named Ikra comes out of nowhere to rescue him. They travel together and Ikra reveals she seeks the same jewel to free her father. After bonding with each other through several obstacles, they finally reach the jewel. However, Ikra destroys the jewel, revealing herself to be Aku himself, who wanted to destroy Jack's hope of ever returning to his time. On a ship, Jack learns about a wishing well that is guarded by 3 archers that never miss a shot. Upon investigating, he learns that the archers are blind and use sound to attack. Jack undergoes intense training to counter the archers until he finally reaches the well. However, he learns that the archers were once humans who were cursed upon using the well. Given his good nature, he wishes to destroy the well and undo all the corruption it had caused the people. Now, Jack must find another way to travel back home. Aku sends a bounty hunter after Jack, which makes him exhausted and furious. When he hurls his broken sandal at a poster of his bounty, it gives birth to Mad Jack, which is the embodiment of his rage. He tries to fight it, but to no avail. Eventually, he realizes that he needs to regain his senses and let go of the rage, which ends in the defeat of Mad Jack. Later, Jack comes across these sea creatures that claim they have a time portal that can send him back to his time. But when Jack tries to use it, he learns that the creature had lured him into a trap so Aku could move their kingdom on land. However, Aku goes back on his word, which results in the creature helping Jack to escape. In a burnt land, Jack hears a voice that calls him into the heart of a mountain. He follows and tackles various traps until he meets a lava monster, who used to be a warrior hundreds of years ago that Aku trapped with a curse. He needs to die in battle to reach Valhalla, so Jack agrees to honor him and the two fight it out. In the end, Jack defeats him and the curse breaks, leading to Valkyries descending to take him to his paradise. Jack honors him, recording his salvation, and continues his journey. Jack stumbles upon a seemingly endless bridge where he crosses paths with a Scotsman playing bagpipes. The two start arguing over who gets the pass until a battle breaks, which spans for an entire day. When they are exhausted, Aku sends bounty hunters to kill them both, so they team up to defend themselves. Battling together, they earn mutual respect, leading to a rivalry-fueled friendship. Jack comes across a gang working for Aku and joins in with them to get close to him. His mission is to obtain the Jewel of Neptune, which Aku wants to use to control all water on Earth. In the end, he grabs the jewel and gets an audience with Aku. Aku is surprised by his ambush and is about to be slain, but the gangsters knock Jack out, believing that Aku would kill Jack despite him clearly winning the fight. Jack wakes up in a hotel and learns what transpired. In the end, he continues his journey while the gangsters keep the jewel for themselves. Aku spies on kids reenacting Jack's victories, feeling frustrated by the growing hope for Jack's heroism. To regain fear, Aku gathers children to tell tales where he triumphs, but they're uninterested. They ask for a story about Samurai Jack, and Aku tells distorted versions of classic tales where Jack is the villain. When the kids oppose him, Aku angrily leaves and they create their own story where Jack defeats Aku in a dramatic showdown atop a castle. After Aku snatches away another time portal, Jack meets a wild man and a tribe of jumping apes. He helps them fend off a rival tribe and offers defense training in return for learning to jump. The two share their skills with each other until the time arrives for Jack to leave. However, a rival tribe attacks the apes, so Jack returns to help, only to see that the apes are capable of defending themselves thanks to his training. In return, he learns to jump really high, which surprises Aku. In a tranquil forest, Jack falls asleep but is soon surrounded and captured by armored creatures. He wakes up in a desert chain gang and is led to a massive dome. Inside, he's warned of the Dome of Doom's deadly reputation. Warriors fight in the dome, and Jack defeats all champions, including Torto, Miotis, the Claw, Reptor, Mr. Roboto, and Ganesh. After earning praise from the crowd, Jack is given the freedom to continue his journey. Jack is dining in a tavern, but bounty hunters recognize him and attack. The Scotsman arrives, blows up the tavern, and seeks Jack's help. His wife had been kidnapped by Celtic demons, and the Scotsman needs a stranger's aid due to tradition. Sneaking into the castle of Boone, they find the demons planning to cook her, but the Scotsman's wife unleashes her incredible rage and defeats the demons on her own. She heads home with her husband's affection and praises Jack's skills. Jack encounters a number of destroyed villages, each hinting about mysterious assassins. Jack discovers tracks leading east and finds 8 transforming baskets that become ultra robots, each with distinct weapons and abilities. Despite his best efforts, Jack is overwhelmed and seeks refuge in a ruined village, where he meets Xtor, the scientist who created the ultra robots. Xtor explains Aku's manipulation, asks Jack for help, and provides him with a power-enhancing gauntlet. He defeats 7 of the robots, but he's left on his own for the last one. As the fight intensifies, Jack prays to his ancestors, and they empower his sword with a beam of light, which allows him to defeat the final robot. Jack reflects on a series of flashbacks from his past, including moments where he interacted with other children, helped the Ronin defend against attackers, witnessed his father's intense eyes, and played with a ball as a child. He also remembers a lesson from his father about standing up for what's worth fighting for. Amidst these memories, a small robot on fire rushes to Jack, seeking his help. The robot tells Jack that its village is under attack, and Jack, despite his emotions, gears up to assist. The episode ends with a shot of Jack's parents seemingly looking across time with pride at the man their son has become. On a rainy day, Jack fights Aku's robots to reach a time portal, but it's destroyed. Feeling defeated, he encounters 3 monks seeking a great power at the mountain's peak. Jack joins them, facing various challenges. Separated and battered, Jack is near giving up. He sees visions of his family suffering under Aku's rule, rekindling his determination. He reaches the summit, gains a renewed purpose, and shouts a defiant message to Aku, vowing to return to the past and defeat him. On an alien planet, a group of skilled hunters called Imakandi are shown capturing alien creatures. Aku asks them to capture Jack and offers treasure, but they consider the hunt reward enough. Through a mystic ritual, they arrive on Earth and ambush Jack in a sewer. Jack is initially captured, but he escapes and is pursued through the city by the Imakandi. The chase leads them to a skyscraper where Jack is cornered. In a climactic confrontation, the Imakandi offer Jack respect for his impressive evasion skills, and they refuse to hand him over to Aku. Later, Jack awakens with a blue flame representing that he's earned his freedom through his evasion skills. Aku, frustrated by Jack's resilience, summons Demongo, a powerful minion who can steal the essence of formidable beings. Demongo conjures various opponents from the stolen essences, including a titan, a samurai, a knight, a Vishnu-like warrior, and a tiger man. Jack defeats them all, realizing the source of Demongo's power. Eventually, Jack figures out a way to enter Demongo's body and free the enslaved warriors. With Demongo's powers stripped away, he faces the wrath of those he imprisoned. Returning to Aku, Demongo meets a grim fate as his essence is crushed by Aku himself, while Jack continues his journey. Jack helps a group of Spartan warriors battle against mechanical minotaurs that threaten their kingdom. He assists a prince who is outnumbered and gains the Spartans' trust. Learning about the kingdom's plight, Jack suggests an alternate route to attack the main source of the threat, a mechanical creature resembling an octopus. The Spartan king, inspired by Jack's plan, leads a group to infiltrate the creature's stronghold. In a fierce battle, Jack and the king manage to injure the creature, but Jack seemingly sacrifices himself in the process. Years later, the king, on his deathbed, recalls the tale, believing that Jack survived the explosion due to his exceptional skills. The story ends with a flashback showing Jack's silhouette amidst the destruction. Jack finds himself in a fog-covered cemetery manipulated by Aku's dark magic, where he faces hordes of resurrected zombie warriors and battles Aku's various monstrous forms. As Aku attempts to use Jack's own sword against them, he discovers that the blade cannot harm an innocent soul, leading Jack to realize and harness this truth. Defying Aku's schemes, Jack defeats him by severing his form and forcing him to retreat in a minuscule state. With determination in his heart, Jack continues his journey as the sun rises over the cemetery. In a flashback, a young Jack reads a hieroglyphic story about Set, the god of evil, and his minions being imprisoned by the gods. In the present, Aku accidentally releases these minions who wreak havoc and then join forces with him to destroy Jack. Jack is ambushed by the powerful minions and struggles to defend himself due to their regenerative abilities. Remembering the hieroglyphics, Jack realizes that the key to defeating them lies in a prophecy involving a scarab amulet. He navigates the riddles, retrieves the scarab pieces, and summons the sun god Ra, who obliterates the minions. Grateful, Jack seeks information about a time portal from Ra, but the deity departs without answering. Having been guided to the mystical land, Jack crosses a treacherous lake with the help of an ancient lake creature. He encounters variant guardian creatures, each testing his worthiness, until he finally reaches the time portal. The final guardian, initially defeating Jack in a fierce battle, is interrupted by a mysterious sound from the portal, allowing Jack to escape. As he is carried away by the flying creature, the guardian acknowledges that the time portal is not yet for the samurai to use. The portal shows an image of a future battle-hardened Jack, hinting at the trials he has yet to face. While traveling at night, Jack encounters a weeping girl and follows her to a mysterious old house. As he explores, he experiences eerie visions of the past occupants' lives and the shadowy evil haunting them. Inside the house, Jack witnesses a distorted reality where the family members seem normal but then transform into grotesque beings controlled by a monstrous entity. Jack fights the demon, but it sends him into an alternate reality. With determination, Jack breaks free, defeats the monster, and restores reality. The girl's family is safe and Jack continues his journey, leaving the girl reunited with her loved ones in the now purified house. While traveling, Jack is attacked by Shaolin monks and proves his affiliation by performing the Shaolin Brotherhood sign. He's taken to their secret temple where he meets the Grand Master, a tree-bound sage who happens to be his old friend from the time when he was training to defeat Aku. Jack reveals his time-traveling origins and they tell him of a portal in a northern temple. Jack sets off with 2 monks and they manage to reach the temple. With the portal active, the monks fight to hold off the guardians, but Jack's compassion outweighs his desire to return, prompting him to help the monks. As the portal deactivates, Jack must find another way back, showing his unwavering dedication to saving the world. Aku sends a skilled ninja to eliminate Jack, who's traversing a dense jungle. The ninja shadows Jack, but before he strikes, a boy races by, pursued by robotic lobsters. Jack intervenes, battling the lobsters and saving the village. Afterward, the ninja kidnaps a boy, leading Jack to a ruined tower. They engage in a high-stakes battle using light and shadows as cover. As the sun sets, the ninja's stealth diminishes and Jack exploits the opportunity to defeat him. The episode concludes with the grateful boy hugging Jack, appreciating his heroism. On a rainy day, Jack seeks refuge in a tavern within a bamboo forest where he encounters Da Samurai, an arrogant braggart dressed flamboyantly who challenges him to a duel. Jack's wisdom and skill outmatch Da Samurai's bravado, and he teaches him life lessons through their duel. As the fight progresses, an army of Aku's assassin droids appears, attacking both of them. When Jack defeats the robots, Da Samurai humbles himself and begins to respect Jack as a mentor. In the Arctic, a barber, Boris, gets distracted as 5 famous bounty hunters, including Jujunga, Ai, and Am, the gentleman, and a mystery hunter named Princess Mira walk by, all aiming to kill Samurai Jack. They meet to discuss their individual plans, but realize Jack is too skilled, prompting Mira to propose a unified approach. They wait in hidden holes for Jack's arrival, but their coordinated assault goes awry. Jack defeats each one of them, leaving only Mira. Realizing her defeat, she surrenders, and Jack walks away victorious as the episode concludes. In a bar, the Scotsman encounters a man who looks like Jack but claims to be Brent Worthington and has no memory of being a hero. The Scotsman insists on helping Brent regain his memories and sword, leading him on a series of adventures. They encounter the Tango Beast, and the Scotsman reenacts a battle Jack had with the creature, but Brent still doesn't remember. They visit a disreputable port town called Hex Bucket and find a bounty on Jack. The Scotsman fights off bounty hunters and learns from a storyteller that Jack recently hired a boat to parts unknown. The Scotsman and Brent set sail for the great unknown, hoping to find clues about Jack's whereabouts. After a perilous voyage to the great unknown, they confront the sirens who had erased Jack's memories. Jack regains his identity and the 2 friends defeat the sirens, freeing the enslaved sailors. They find themselves stranded on the island as all the ships have left, leading to a humorous competition of various contests to determine who will row the boat back. Jack emerges as the victor and the 2 set off for the mainland, continuing their camaraderie. A planet named Crystallis is under attack by their mortal enemies, the Squoomians. The royal children, Prince Aster and Princess Verbena, with the help of the robot Chitron, escape to Earth seeking assistance from the Royal Navy. They encounter Aku's drones, leading to an unexpected meeting with Samurai Jack, who helps them escape Aku's clutches. Working together, they repair their ship and defend it from Aku's drones. Jack shares his own mission to defeat Aku, finding common ground with the royal siblings. Eventually, the Squoomians are defeated and peace is restored to Crystallis. The Lepidopterans honor Jack's bravery by erecting a statue in his honor on their planet. Aku attempts to defeat Jack by sending various giant robots and an army of minions, all of which Jack easily defeats. Frustrated, Aku finally challenges Jack to a one-on-one duel without the use of a sword, superhuman powers, or the assistance of evil minions. The duel takes place at sunrise in the Valley of the Corpses. Aku initially appears in a comedic gladiator form, but the fight becomes a martial arts battle in which Jack emerges victorious. However, Aku escapes by transforming into a bat and taunting Jack about his return. Jack outsmarts Aku by hiding fake swords and reveals that the real one is under the sand. In summer, he faces attacking apparitions in a desert but realizes they're not real and finds a lush oasis. In the fall, he encounters a scientist who poisons a well, but Jack outsmarts him and defeats him with his own potion. In winter, he confronts an ogre-like warrior wielding a powerful elemental sword, but Jack shatters it with a single strike. In spring, he meets a woman in a flowery area who lulls him into a false sense of relaxation before revealing her true intentions. Each season's challenge tests Jack's intelligence, skill, and determination as he continues his quest against Aku. X-49, a unique robot with emotions, recounts his past as an assassin for Aku's regime. He met Lulu, a pug dog, and retired, living a peaceful life until Lulu was kidnapped. Forced back into action, he tracks down Samurai Jack in a factory. In a tense showdown, he narrowly misses his target but mistakenly kills an old X-series robot. The samurai defeats X-49, who hears Lulu's voice before shutting down. In the end, a picture of Lulu can be seen in X-49's car. In a flashback episode, Jack's second teacher takes him to an African village for training against Aku. The village chief recognizes Jack as the Emperor's son and acknowledges his role in facing Aku. Jack learns of a plan his father made for defeating Aku's return. During his training, he befriends the chief's son. Another village attacks, seeking Jack, and captures the chief's people. Jack follows them and finds they're serving Aku. He practices with a weapon, then rescues his friends, impressing the chief. With his training complete, Jack prepares for the ultimate battle against Aku. Jack finds a baby in danger and rescues it from robotic ogres. He embarks on a journey to find the baby's parents, encountering challenges and bounty hunters along the way. Jack shares a story about Momotaro, a hero from his childhood, as he cares for the baby. When the baby becomes ill and utters the word Momo, Jack realizes the baby's need for peaches. Returning to the peach grove, Jack faces the ogres again, protecting the baby. Finally, the baby's family arrives, and as they reunite, the baby displays a stern samurai-like expression, indicating he has learned from Jack's journey. In Season 5, 50 years have passed since Jack's battle with Aku began. Despite not aging, Jack is tormented by his inability to return to the past and undo Aku's influence. Meanwhile, Aku's devoters have formed a cult, and the daughters of Aku are being trained from childhood for the sole purpose of killing Jack. On the other hand, Jack faces hallucinations of his parents' disappointment and a Dark Rider's presence who urges him to commit seppuku. He fights a relentless robot assassin, Scaramouche, losing his sword and finally defeating him with a sword that vibrates. Meanwhile, the daughters of Aku reach adulthood, completing their training and receiving orders to kill Jack, setting the stage for a new chapter in his journey. Aku destroyed all the time portals in hopes that age will catch on to Jack, but as it turns out, he became immune to aging because of the portal Aku used to bring him here. Meanwhile, both a white wolf and Jack face challenges as they journey through the woods. The wolf encounters giant blue-green tigers, engaging in a fierce battle, while Jack is ambushed by shadowy attackers who brutally defeat him, taking his weapons and armor. As Jack finds refuge in a ruined temple complex, he is attacked by one of the shadowy figures. He kills it, only to learn that it was a woman, specifically one of the daughters of Aku. Horrified and critically injured, Jack triggers an explosion to escape, falling into a river while the white wolf, after defeating the tigers, lies unconscious. Jack's survival instincts kick in as he floats downriver, wounded and pursued by the daughters of Aku. After being warned by a frog about the daughters, Jack reaches a cave and tends to his injuries. Battling his inner turmoil and memories of his first human kill, Jack is joined by the white wolf, symbolizing his resilience. Reminiscing about his father's teachings, Jack recuperates and prepares to face the daughters once more. The daughters, now fewer in number, track him through the forest. Jack confronts them and employs clever tactics, using spears and the environment to his advantage. The showdown climaxes with a deadly battle, resulting in the apparent demise of the daughters and Jack's perilous fall from a cliff. Jack survives the fall and learns that one of the daughters named Ashi has also survived. However, when they get swallowed by a monster, Jack tries to tell him about Aku's deception. Initially, she is all about killing Jack, but after he saves her life multiple times, she comes around and is now doubting everything she has been taught since childhood. Meanwhile, 3 armies, including the Scotsman's daughters, launch an assault on Aku's lair. Aku easily defeats them and kills the old Scotsman, who then returns as a ghost. Meanwhile, Ashi questions her purpose and demands the truth from Jack, so he takes her to witness the dark side of a city under Aku's rule, convincing her of Aku's evil. They rescue children from a mind-controlling factory, but the children appear dead, causing Jack immense grief. A mysterious samurai arrives and leads Jack away, leaving Ashi to discover the children are alive. Jack's fate becomes uncertain as he vanishes with the samurai. Ashi travels alone on an airship, encountering woolies who share a story about how Jack saved their people. She then meets the 3 blind archers who tell her about Jack's heroism and guide her to the village where a statue of Jack stands. She revisits painful memories, changes her appearance, and seeks information from a tavern where Da Samurai is now a bartender. Following a girl's guidance, Ashi finds Jack in a cemetery surrounded by the ghosts of past samurai. The horseman attempts to make Jack commit seppuku, but Ashi's intervention reminds Jack of his positive impact and restores his confidence. He defeats the horseman and decides it's time to find his sword. In a flashback, Jack recounts how he lost his sword 50 years ago when Aku destroyed the last time portal and left him trapped in the future. Back in the present, Jack and Ashi arrive at the mountain, and Jack meditates to search for his sword spiritually. Ashi defends Jack from an army of orc-like warriors and confronts the High Priestess, her mother, who seeks to kill Jack. Ashi fights her mother and protects Jack. In the spiritual realm, Jack encounters a monk who helps him realize the importance of balance in finding the sword. Jack confronts his own anger and frustration, dispels his hallucination, and gains the favor of 3 supreme deities. Jack's appearance is restored and he receives his sword, now more powerful than before. Jack and Ashi prepare to confront Aku for the final showdown. Now journeying together, Jack and Ashi face several adversaries such as a Tiger Man, a poisonous leech, and Lazarus. During their battles, they realize their feelings for each other and share a passionate kiss after defeating the monster. As Jack and Ashi journey through the desert and have a heartfelt conversation about Jack's memories and the reasons behind his actions, a broken Scaramouche reaches Aku and reveals that Jack's sword is lost, not knowing he has an even better weapon now. Jack returns to the last remaining portal, which had a guardian, only to learn that Aku has left his destruction there as well. Later, as Aku appears, he learns about Ashi's connection to him and uses his essence within her to control and transform her into a demonic version. Ashi fights Jack under Aku's control, and though Jack gains a brief connection with her, he can't bring himself to harm her. Aku claims victory as Jack's sword falls into his hands. And in this climactic episode, Aku captures Jack and plans to execute him on live television, using Ashi under his control to kill him. However, Jack's allies break into Aku's lair, leading to a fierce battle. Ashi breaks free from Aku's control, and she realizes she has Aku's powers, meaning they can travel back to the past and defeat Aku once and for all. They return to the moment when Aku first sent Jack to the future and succeed in destroying Aku, hence creating a brighter future. Later, Jack and Ashi are about to be wed, but Ashi fades away due to the erasure of her existence caused by Aku's defeat, leaving Jack with a bittersweet realization and hope for the future. He finds solace in the memories they shared and the hope for a brighter future, as the destruction of Aku means a better world. And on this bittersweet note, Samurai Jack's timeline concludes. It is definitely one of my personal favorites, but what about you? Do let us know in the comments, as we'd love to hear from you. And as for everything else, if you enjoyed the video, drop us a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Cartoon Mania for more awesome tunes like this recapped on your feed. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace!